Hello and welcome back to the Spooky Horror Show podcast. I'm one half of your hosts, Sean, and today is going to be a little bit different of an episode. Today I'm going to be talking about my little day trip to Houston for the Houston Horror Film Fest. Those of you that aren't new to the pod know that for the past 2 months, the content output on YouTube, Spotify, and other social media platforms has been a little inconsistent due to construction and foundation work I'm having done on my house. We are currently living in the house as work is getting done, so things have been super hectic, and my office has kind of become a catch-all for tools, materials, and other items currently being displaced around the house. With the foundation repair and lifting complete, it's now on me to get everything inside and outside cleaned up and squared away. On top of that, it's been over 105 degrees here in Austin, with my office maintaining a cool and crisp, sweltering 95 degrees. There is also the perils of buying a house that is over 100 years old. When you start to move old bones around, shit starts to shift and separate. Why was the office almost 100 degrees all of the time, with some of the siding removed to repair all the joists the house sits on during the lift and leveling? Some areas of the exterior walls pulled away from the flooring. It's a 100-year-old house. 0.5% of the walls are perfectly square. That's just not how things were made in like the 1915s to 1920s and whatever. So with it so hot in here, couldn't record. So instead, in between tearing up flooring and replacing subfloors, I decided to treat the kiddo to a meet and greet with actors from some of his new favorite horror movies. Because it was such short notice, we decided to just go for one day. Plus, I still have a ton of stuff to try to get done around the house after all of the construction and rebuilding. And there's, there's so much stuff that is still left to get done. Parking was insane. The parking lot for the hotel is massive. It was also completely filled. And all of the parking attendants that were there never told people pulling in that the lot was full. They just kept directing people around. So then you just drove this entire massive lot all the way around until you end up making a loop and going out the exit. They could have just saved everyone the trouble and been like, hey, it's full. Just make a U-E right here and go out. Whatever. It wasn't that big of a deal. There was a shopping center literally right next door to the hotel. Now, you would think that with this massive hotel parking lot that is filled to capacity, this horror convention that is pretty much taking up the entire space of the first floor of this hotel, that it would be completely jam-packed and unbearable to move around and maneuver. But inside, it was surprisingly spaced out very well. There were some amazing vendors there. God, I love horror merch so fucking much. And now this is a film fest and there were screenings, but again, this was kind of a last minute thing. There was no time to go see any of the movies. So it was a 2.5-hour drive there. We still had to drive back. We were there from noon to about 6:30, so screenings were out of the question. But there were some interesting looking features that they were showing and a lot of really interesting shorts. When they hit digital or if any of them come to theaters or physical media, definitely want to check some of them out for the podcast. I'd mentioned this before on the podcast, but I'll mention it again. Every night we watch movies or TV shows. It could be just about anything. For the most part, it tends to end up being, when it's all three of us, horror related. The kiddo is very much into horror, and we work through entire franchises before moving on to the next thing. We worked through all of the Scream movies, then we did the Scream TV show, all of Scary Movie, Megan, Black Phone, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street. We did a bunch. Terrifier. We're gonna do Sleepaway Camp. I know he's interested in Trauma. So far, the only thing semi-related to Trauma that he's seen, but not really related to Trauma, is the new Toxic Avenger movie. And I'm like, well, you gotta watch the original and then the cartoon. We just finished watching all of the Evil Dead movies, and now we're watching Ash vs. Evil Dead. We just finished season 1. So when he heard that a bunch of the franchise stars from Friday the 13th, and then Violet and Madeline McGraw, Jenna Davis, Simon Rex, Felissa Rose were going to be at this festival. Like, he wanted to come. He has a love-hate relationship with Friday the 13th, kind of like me. It's my favorite horror franchise, and just like me, he understands that they're fun to watch, but it doesn't mean that they're like good movies. There's a lot of bad, and he has his favorites. He knows Felissa Rose from the Sleepaway Camp meme, like the ending meme, because we haven't watched it yet, but he more knows her from Terrifier 2 and then Stream. And what we really went there for him were the McGraw sisters and Jenna Davis. He really likes the Black Phone movies and the Megan movies, but he really likes Madeline, but more specifically Violet McGraw. And that's fine, because at least it's like an age appropriate crush on a celebrity, as opposed to a lot of like the weirdos that go to these conventions and like fawn over these kids like they're the same age and everything. But I think he's literally seen everything that Violet McGraw has been in, even the not great The Curse of the Necklace that Violet and Madeline starred and executive produced. That was not a good movie. It could have been better, but it was not good. But he also wanted to meet his favorite final girl from Friday the 13th. The only final girl that he ever remembers any of the like Friday the 13th films, besides like the first one, because he's just like her whole like falling asleep in the boat. He's like, it's so dumb. Is Jensen Daggett from Jason Takes Manhattan, mainly because they have the same name, and their interaction there was so fucking cute. I had met her previously and talked to her, like she had known that they have the same name. So when my Jensen met her later, she had like known and like gushed about it, and it made his day. So like that was cool. I, on the other hand, of course, was excited to meet Jensen because she's one of my favorites too. I really like Jason Takes Manhattan. I like how like unapologetically 80s it is. But one of my other favorite final girls from the Friday the 13th franchise is Melanie Kinnaman, who was Pam in Friday the 13th A New Beginning, which is notoriously the Friday the 13th that doesn't have Jason Voorhees, which a lot of people hate. It could have been good if they just tweaked it a little better. The concept is good. Someone using the lore of Jason to hide their own killings. It's a good concept, but she was great in it, and that always stuck with me, that like she was great. Her character as a whole was just always good. Some of them were always kind of shit, but she was always awesome. So it was cool that she was there, and I got them to sign some stuff. Last year, I had gotten the chance to meet Kane Hodder, and we joked about his movie Muck, and it's supposed to be a sequel and then not a sequel, Kill Her Goats. He couldn't believe that I actually liked Muck, and after explaining why I liked it and acknowledging the obvious like problems, he understood why I could like it and why the concept of it had merit. He was a pretty cool guy. He is one of my favorite actors to portray Jason. My other favorite actor to portray Jason is also a guy that has played characters that I love in a ton of other projects. Derek Mears. Derek Mears has been in Grimm, which I love that show. Pirates of the Caribbean. He was Swamp Thing in the criminally underrated Swamp Thing TV show for the DC Comics fucking streaming service that fucking failed. I think he was also in Alita Battle Angel and a bunch of other stuff. But most recently, he was the end like demon in the D&D episode of the absolutely hysterical Peacock original series Ted. It was awesome to meet him. It was awesome to talk about the movies that I didn't even realize that he was in. Like, I didn't realize that he was in Grimm, and I've watched that series multiple times. We talked about Swamp Thing and how amazing that show was. Titans absolutely should have been canceled. Like, that was in no way, shape, or form a Titans show. They fucked that up from the beginning. Like, Doom Patrol was a fantastic show, but the only other good show that they really had was Swamp Thing. Talked about like if there was a chance under James Gunn, if possibly there could be, there's gods and monsters. That's their whole thing now. Bringing Swamp Thing back, and I believe he said there may be a chance that something is happening with Swamp Thing again. So that could be cool. That could be really cool. All in all, for a total of like 6 hours in Houston, it was an awesome day trip. Maybe next year we'll plan a little better and check out some of the movies they're showing on top of buying a metric shit ton of merch. The merch there was so fucking good. As a matter of fact, I think like I bought a bunch of t-shirts. I didn't want to carry a bunch of stuff around because like I had you can see it back there. I need to find a better thing for it. I want to get like a mannequin head because like over there you can't see it. I have a Art the Clown mask. Fuck, I should have brought that when I met fucking Damien, which is just fucking wild. I don't even know if I mentioned it on one of the podcasts when I went to another convention and like ran into Damien Leone, creator of Terrifier and Art the Clown and everything. And we were talking and found out we went to the same high school and he graduated the year after me. It's like we were in high school at the exact same time. Fucking insane. But yeah, I totally should have had him and David Howard Thornton sign the mask. Maybe next time I bump into them, I'll have them sign that. But yeah, so I have that. And then behind me, I have a Camp Crystal Lake. I'm in the process of getting everyone to sign. But the only merch, like my favorite stuff really is like this day glow type stuff. One of like the conventions we went to in Dallas a couple of months ago, I got like this Elvira like day glow limited edition pop funk, mainly because I love Elvira, but also I love like that day glow aesthetic. But at this, I bought tons of t-shirts because they're easily packable in the bag. But then I got this. This is all it is. Just Mickey dead in a mousetrap. That's all that it is. That's literally all that it is. But yeah, like I love you can see it in like you saw it in the footage, like the Dayglow stuff. Like I would love that fucking Elvira one. The Pee Wee Herman one looked fucking amazing. The Mars Attack is fucking gorgeous. Once they start making some Dungeon Crawler Carl like Dayglow shit, that stuff will be fucking gorgeous. But yeah, I'll have to make room for shit. Like I'll figure it out. But yeah, it was awesome. Now I need to get ready because I will be at opening night of the hell is it? Halloween Horror Nights in Orlando. So I need to get ready for that. But yeah, thanks everyone for checking out. I gotta come up with a name for like when we like go out and do stuff. I think on like another channel, on like one of my other YouTube channels, I had like a name for like when I would go and like cover conventions and do interviews and stuff. I don't remember what I called it. Don't know what I'm gonna call this video. I'll have to figure it out. But go watch some horror movies. Bye.